So, international break is here. Why is this a good thing for Luton? I'm normally not a fan of international breaks so early, but I am now. Luton kickstart their season in the Championship against Millwall. We've given all these teams a head start, and in today's video I'm going to explain why international break is going to be beneficial for Luton and why we need to take full advantage of the international break against Millwall and then kickstart our football season. This may come back to bite me, I don't care, I'm going to stick with it. Drop a like on today's video if you do enjoy it. Comment below on, do you think this international break is going to benefit Luton? If it's not, please let me know down below. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. So, why is international break going to benefit Luton? Firstly, we now know our squad, at least until January. We know that there's not going to be many incomings. We can technically still sign players as a free agent, but we can't buy anyone. So we know this is going to be our main squad. In terms of outgoings, we know that this group of players are going to be staying at least until January the 1st. No more question marks whether our star players will leave the football club. They are here at least until January. So we get to work with the current group of players. Rob Edwards now can look at the team and go, right, this is the system we're now going to play. No chopping and changing in systems and formations. He can get to stick with a formation and he can play it, because he now knows he's got the players available to play the system. What system do I think we're going to do, play going forward? I think we're going to move to a 3-5-2. I feel like we've got too many midfielders at the football club now, especially in the centre mid areas, and it kind of does make sense to continue playing with three midfielders. I feel like there's been a real imbalance in the midfield, especially since the start of the season, and I feel like going forward it kind of makes sense. Because we didn't sign replacements for our attacking players, we allowed 3 attacking players to leave, and because we didn't sign any replacements for those attacking players, I feel like we are very limited in terms of playing a different formation that requires wingers. So I do think going forward we will be playing with more midfielders, allowing Morris and Elijah Adebayo, if they are the 2 chosen strikers, to play up top together and closer. So that's the first positive of this international break. We get to look at a system, play a system, use these 2 weeks of international break to focus on it, improve on it, get better at it, and then game against Millwall, use it and win. Fingers crossed. So that's the first positive, I feel like, of this international break. Number 2, we now have our injured players returning. Obviously pre-season we didn't have these players here. It was a really imbalanced pre-season. Players that were carrying injuries weren't available for it, so there was a real difficulty in forming partnerships, in being fluid in our play, because there was such an imbalance within the team because of players not being available. We now have Amari Bell back, we now have Anderson back, we now have Reece Burke back. We also signed a centre half in McGuinness, and of course don't forget our new signing in Walters as well. He's now in the team. So we now can focus on these next 10 days or 14 days or whatever the amount of days are, and focus on forming relationships and partnerships across all positions, especially the defence, because the defence for me is the one that's probably imbalanced the most in terms of relationships. We concede so many sloppy goals through mistakes, and we've conceded a lot of goals over the last 18 months. So I feel like this international break, now we've got players returning back, key players, good centre halves, we can now form those connections, form partnerships, form relationships, and then use that to our strength to progress the team going forward. That's my whole idea around it. Training in 2 training sessions a day, how many they do over the next 10 days, I think is so important. It really is, because now that everyone's available now, McGuinness can start gelling with these players a lot more. That's the key word. What I'm looking for is they can start gelling now as a team and form good partnerships. So that's another positive in terms of this international break, because all of our new signings, if you think about it, majority of them have signed after the season has started, which is a lot difficult to embed yourself within the team. So the fact that you now got 2 weeks to kind of get to know your teammates, to settle down a little bit, I think it can help. So that's another positive. Also, another positive is we could potentially organise a behind closed door friendly. We do this, you know, clubs do this all the time really, but I feel like it would be wise to do this for Luton, especially with, as I've already mentioned, players returning back from injury, you know, your Nakambas, your Reece Burks, your Andersons, for them to get back up to match fitness. As I've already mentioned, you know, training can only do a certain amount of intensity into a player's body. It's all about match games, it's about match fitness, and I feel like a non-league team playing against a non-league team behind closed doors could be a massive benefit for the club, for the players, and it can also help the management team go, look, this is the system which we want to play, let's do this, let's play it this way, and going forward we can try and do that. So yeah, I think international break has come out a massive, well, at a good time for Luton. I feel like it just gives time to the players now to work together, everyone from coaching staff to the players. Also gives us a little break. You can also re-evaluate what's happened since the start of the season, what's gone wrong, what's gone right, what do we need to work on, and they can do that within this small period of time. Not many of our players have been called up for international break, which is good, because I feel like normally I would be all 4 players getting called up, but we need as many players within this little mini pre-season camp thing during this international break as possible, in order to, I think, progress further. I think it's going to be a real blessing, and I really hope against Millwall it's gonna give us 3 points. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to make a positive video. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I feel like international break will be a massive benefit for Luton. But let me know, do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you think I'm talking rubbish? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video.